Hi guys, it's Lewis from the Indigo auction. I am a small Japanese Pokemon retailer based in the UK, and today we're going to talk about some of the struggles that small businesses have upon their startups. I just want to preface this video by saying thank you to everybody who participated in my opening weekend. I truly appreciate you all dropping by and purchasing something from my store. It really was quite humbling, to be fair. I really did not expect that amount of traction just from a simple shout out. So thank you to the UK Pokemon for doing that for me. I feel very blessed that you gave me that opportunity, and I don't want to let you guys down. That being said, in regards to going forward with the business, I've noticed after running the numbers that generally speaking, margins end up being very thin, especially when you're first starting out as a retailer. And this is compounded even further because basically you have zero control of the market. And that's the same for any retailer. And the market in Japan for Japanese product is getting squeezed so hard. I think they're seeing unprecedented demand. Obviously Inferno X hasn't really helped with the situation because let's be honest, everyone's going crazy for that Charizard right now. And as much as, we want to get that product in, there's a part of me which almost feels like I don't want to, because I don't want to pass on the cost to you guys. So to put it into perspective, Inferno X of my initial run I bought at 12,900 yen a box, which works out roughly around conversions 63 to 64 pounds, I think it was, per box. Now, to you guys watching, you might sit there and think, oh, that's actually a really good price. That's where it gets you. So there are many layers and facets that go into building the retail price you sell at. And we'll break that down a little bit here. So, you order the product itself, right? So you choose your booster boxes, you choose what you want to sell. So you have that ready to go. You go, okay, now I need to get it over here from Japan. So shipping. Normally this is done via DHL or FedEx Express, which is fantastic for us sellers because, the stock gets here really fast. I'm talking a couple of days from Japan, which is pretty impressive when you consider the distance and the amount of stuff you're shipping. But that's pretty expensive, and that cost only goes up the more you order. And then we move on to other handling fees. So for example, I use PayPal, which admittedly isn't the most optimal way to buy products, and I'll explain that for it right now. Basically speaking, a lot of vendors will expect you to cover the fees associated with using PayPal. And whilst, yes, PayPal is fantastic because it gives you that security knowing that you're protected if something goes wrong with your order, there's an extra 5% on top of what you've paid. So say you've paid I don't know, oh God, quick maths. So say £1,000 worth of stuff, 5%, an extra £50, which doesn't sound like much, but as the order order amount gets higher and higher, that cost slowly adds up, and it slowly compounds. It compounds quite viciously, actually. So payment through Wise would be preferred, which is, it's like a wire transfer service. But one, you kind of only want to do that with your really trusted sellers because you have no protection whatsoever if something goes wrong. That money is essentially gone. And two, say you're using a business credit card, for example, which I use a lot of the time. A lot of businesses use credit to get their stock in. You incur quite high fees. So you can see how slowly we're already building up some figures so far. And then also include, invoice fees, signature fees, and courier fees on top of that. Because yes, even though you've paid for the shipping, the couriers still expect you to pay extra because they've paid your customs beforehand and you have to pay them. It's like those stupid little admin fees for buying tickets to the cinema. It's like, what admin are you doing? You're literally just pressing a button. Regardless. And then, it's in the country, you've paid your customs, you've paid your duty. And then there's packaging. Holy hell, packaging is expensive. Like, I found a pretty good supplier for the cardboard boxes. Admittedly, they're not the size that I kind of want at the moment. I'd like them just a little bit smaller, just to accommodate like maybe just 1 or 2 booster boxes. But it's worked for this round. Going on a bit of caveat there. Packaging is expensive. And then if you include like the bubble wrapping, the tape, everything else that goes with that, you know, you add maybe on average £1 to £2 per, no, that's a bit high, maybe £1 to £1.50 per order, I would say, on packaging. Which, you know, if you're shipping 100 packages, that's a lot of packaging, you know, it's 100+ quid of packaging. So you can see, like, in stages how this slowly begins to compound. And for me, I'm a people pleaser, right? Like, I love being able to give people a deal. But when you add all these costs up, and then you sort of you calculate like your retail price, like your net margin and stuff, you're like, holy crap, I'm basically just breaking even most of the time. And as much as it's nice because I'm able to get the products to you at a good price, it kind of makes the business model a little bit unviable. Like, man's got to make some money as well so I can grow and give you guys more. So it kind of gets you nervous as a small seller because you think, wow, like I've just had such an amazing weekend of sales. Like, everybody's really enjoyed the pricing. But then you're looking onto the next restock, you're like, right, how am I going to, you know, grow by a very small margin? And then you look and you look at the market, you go to your vendors, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, hang on, my box of Inferno X has gone from 12,900 yen to 14,400 yen. You know, it's not a small jump. That's like an additional £7 or £10 per box. And there's no real way to absorb that without passing it on to you guys. And I kind of want to come out and just be really frank about it as a seller because, you know, I want to provide a service to you guys, but I don't want you to think that I'm pulling your pants down, to be honest, because it's hard because I know that times are tough. People can't get hold of stock. That's why people turn to Japanese. And then people are getting their pants pulled down about Japanese stock nowadays. You know, you see a lot of big retailers, they're selling boxes at like more or less close to English prices, which is kind of nuts, to be honest. So sort of like my plans going forward, like I want to keep providing for you guys, but I also want to do it in a way that's sustainable. And I want to put my face to it. I don't want to be hiding behind a screen telling you guys this, because I kind of want this business to be quite community focused, you know, because there's a lot of businesses out there where it's just a storefront and that's it. There's nothing else to it. You know, it's why I post a lot on my Instagram. It's why I'm trying to get a little bit more active on YouTube as well. And I just want you guys to be happy and have fun, because then I'm happy and having fun. So going forwards, I do have a restock planned. I do have something in mind, but I do want to really stress that as much as I'd love to keep the prices low for you all, I do need to increase some stuff. And I really hate having to do it. And I'm really, really sorry about it, because I would love to keep it where it was, but the market is just moving so crazily at the moment. And as a small seller, like, you're already stretched, and trying to just compete with some of the bigger boys, it's hard work, honestly. But I just hope that maybe this video maybe puts a little bit of perspective on what it's like for a small seller, and, you know, just to put my thoughts out there about, you know, how I feel and what my processes are, and just so you don't feel like I'm trying to screw you, basically. Nearly dropped the F-bomb. So with that being said, I just want to thank anyone who stuck around and watched the whole thing, watched me ramble, just talking into this camera. This week, I am going to do a Whatnot stream. I'm not sure the format I'm going to go with yet. I would like to do some breaks of Terrestrial Festival as a little bit of a community event. I'm going to keep the prices fair and low. I'm not letting you guys run up a bid all the way to like 50, 60 quid, trust me. I want to keep it just accessible to everybody. So if you drop into the links below, if you're not already, you've got all my handles, you've got Instagram, you've got my actual website as well. I post most of my updates on Instagram, so you'll find out straight away what's going on from there. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful start to your week. And again, thank you to all of you who have supported me the past day or two. I really, really appreciate you all, and I hope you are all super fantastic. So that being said, I'll see you later, guys. Have a good one. Take care.